It had been a hard-fought battle. Hal Sutton and Tiger Woods paired together, striving for the 2000 Players Championship. Comments about Woods' dominance in the sport had annoyed Sutton. It had motivated him to avoid mistakes, continue to hit fairways and greens, and play the same steady game that had earned him the lead on Thursday. But everyone knew it was just a matter of time before Woods applied the pressure. In the end, it came down to one crucial shot, Sutton's approach to the final green. With trouble looming around the 18th, one missed club, one missed hit could evaporate a one-shot lead in a heartbeat. It was time to dig down deep to secure the win.
Be the right club. Be the right club today.
One electric moment in golf that will forever resonate at Sawgrass.
Be the right club today.
Rocca has done it.
We have a shining star at sunset.
I've never seen the likes of it.
Golf's greatest rounds for the 2000 Players Championship is presented by Rolex.
Hello and welcome to Golf's Greatest Rounds. I'm Bill McAtee. On the eve of the final round of the 2000 Players Championship, fans and players alike were expecting Tiger Woods to charge to victory. After all, he had won 10 of his past 16 tournaments. That included coming from 7 shots back in the final round at Pebble Beach earlier that year. Tiger just had that intimidation factor that hadn't been seen since the prime of Jack Nicklaus. There was no reason to doubt that Tiger couldn't overcome a one-shot deficit. But one player seemingly immune to Tiger's invincibility was Hal Sutton, the leader, going into the final round. 17 years earlier, Sutton had won the Players and PGA Championship and had been one of golf's formidable performers until his game seemingly deserted him. But recently, his feel and touch had returned. Hal had resurrected his game and wasn't buying into any notion of Tiger's invincibility. As was usually the case, Sutton was outspoken about his determination and felt that with grit and tenacity, he could match up with Woods and win the Players once again. We pick up the action now on the 11th hole of the final round. Woods and Sutton paired together. Would Tiger be able to mount a charge, or would Hal stare him down?
On the tee, Hal Sutton. It's really quite an easy drive in a lot of ways. So we saw Woods make eagle from the left bunker, but look at the fairways hit, 7 out of 8, greens 9 out of 10. He's golfing his ball. For all pars, he could be a lot lower today. But I think his game plan, Roger, was to just put heat on Tiger, just wear him out with down the middle on the green, down the middle on the green.
I was pretty frustrated on Saturday evening. Still had a one-shot lead over Tiger. We knew we were going to be playing together. And of course, Tiger turned everybody away that come in, and I meet the same thing that I've been meeting all week long. And I'm thinking, what can I say to shut these people up, you know? Because they're just not going to get off of me of what I'm supposed to believe. And finally I said, you know what? I was pretty worried till I realized when I bent down, kneeled down to pray this morning, I realized I wasn't praying to Tiger Woods, so he's a man just like me.
He's waiting for Sluman's third shot here up ahead.
Well, let's see if he can feed it in there. There's a lot of places you don't want to hit it here on 11 if you're going for the green from a long distance.
What does that say about Tiger's distance, Johnny? Waiting ahead for a third shot on the par 5.
That's right. And there's one of the spots you don't want to hit it. And look at that look.
So now he's ready as the fairway is cleared.
Tiger sort of likes his hole, Roger. Birdie, birdie, eagle.
Well, he hasn't taken advantage of the few places in this golf course where his power really is a huge benefit to him. The 2-5 pars in the front. He needs to get a hold of this one here.
Wants to hit at that tree. Oh, man. Sound like a howitzer.
It was.
Well,
landed kind of soft, Johnny, but certainly can reach the green in 2.
Over to 13.
Colin Montgomery for birdie. He got very fortunate. He saw Ernie Els' chip shot come up here and just race to the right. Colin put that right in his computer. tapped it right in.
He's not out of it.
To 18.
Defending champion Duvall for birdie.
But it's very hard to read right here. Goes to the right, and you just cannot see it. And I thought he might know it because obviously it's his home course.
Still a 69 for Duvall. He's gotten lower and lower each day. Started with that 75 on the blustery Thursday, 73 and a 70 after that. Over to the 11th. Mark Rolfing.
Fifth shot for Jeff Sluman on the par 5. Hit the tree off the tee, had to lay it up to 186 yards. Put it in the front left bunker, then went into the back bunker, and it all adds up to a 6 now. So that is his 4th bogey of the day to match Lehman's 4 bogeys.
And Sluman will drop to 3 under. There are some darkening skies, folks. There's rain about 4 miles away north of us. It is expected to reach us. Good news for the moment is that there's no thunderstorms or electricity in that weather, but there are some more thunderstorms a little further off, so we're not out of the woods as far as a potential stoppage of play.
Johnny, isn't it interesting? It really doesn't look like the golf course should be playing that tough. It's pretty calm out here, but the Sunday pressure, the final round of the Players, has really got these guys going sideways now.
Don't you think that it's a lot like a prize fight? The guy jabs you, and you sort of go, that didn't hurt, but about 400 jabs later, it starts wearing you out. I mean, this course, I think, just sort of takes its little jabs at you, and by Sunday, you're just a little punch drunk.
Well, the stroke average today up about 2 from yesterday, and the conditions are fairly calm, although the wind direction has changed.
These are a difficult set of hole locations, though, just like this one here at 11.
This is slow coming out of here, up that hill. Gives it a good wrap, and now he's got to try that same length putt he missed on the last hole. And it might be a little, not sure the break from there, not too much.
Probably not too much, might go a little left.
That's what he doesn't want to hear, though.
That's right.
Back on the tee at 14, our first look at the 14th hole. Boy, you do not want to drive it right. You have to be in this fairway. The wind slightly in the player's face now. A good shot. This hole is extremely difficult today with the hole location.
Back at 11. Lehman misses another par putt. It'll be 3 straight bogeys for Lehman. 4 in the last 5 holes. So he was hanging around in pretty good shape, Johnny, through 8 at 6 under, but 3 drop shots later, he is now 6 back.
Yeah, it really hurts there on a 5 par that he could reach in 2 from the fairway.
Now we're ready for the final group. You look at the par 5 11th. 44 have gone for the green in 2. 4 have reached it.
This hole, I think there's almost more bad things that can happen to a second shot going for the green than good, Roger, but he's going for it.
228 to the front, 256 to the hole. Wants his ball to slide a little bit. It's just hanging out left.
Now that is a very difficult pitch shot because of that hill he's got to negotiate. He's got to somehow hit it into the bank and knock it dead out of a fluffy lie, and you don't want to go long, go down in the bunker down in this area here, and you're really in trouble.
Now Tiger. 223 front, 251 hole. We're starting to hear thunder in the distance.
It's supposed to be about 20 miles away, Roger, so keep it away. Eagled it yesterday. He hasn't had much to smile about since the first hole. He didn't smile there because he was grinding so hard, so it hasn't been a smiley day so far, Roger.
6 consecutive pars for Tiger.
This is a 3-er.
Look like a good swing.
Yeah, it's going left, John. Very solid and very high.
Everybody seems to be hitting it left here. And at least he's got a good lie, but he's got that hill that we're talking about to negotiate.
Ahead to the 12th.
where we find the 1995 Players Champion, Lee Janzen, with a birdie putt just to get to 4 under. Okay, safely in, and Janzen with a very solid round going. 2 birdies, just 1 bogey. Right now it's Hal Sutton and Tiger Woods who are duking it out. They'll be at the par 5 11th when we come back.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien.
Joseph A. Bank presents Your Choice, Your Savings. Sport coats, pants, polos, shorts, and more. Purchase 1 item and receive 2 free. Plus, all traveler shirts are 3 for $99 through Tuesday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
Colin Montgomery from 193 yards.
Just a nice full 5-iron. He was blocked entirely from the view of the hole, but he's played a very solid round of golf so far today.
Well, that certainly is the place to miss it, Ed. It's a horrible view of that whole location. Back to 11.
And Tiger Woods is 3rd, Raj.
Well, fortunate to be in this gap. Has a good lie. He'll have to pitch it into the bank in front of the hole, some 15, 18 feet before the flag, and let it skip up the slope. Well judged.
He'll have that for his first birdie since the opening hole.
Let's take a look at this 5.8 area right here. Of course, Tiger Woods was sitting right there just inside, and Sutton's ball is right on the side slope of that pot bunker. So both of them tough up and ins. Tiger hit a beautiful shot. I thought better than average for him. And this one here, though, is got some muffy type of stance and lie. Roger, could come out a couple different ways. Roger, you've been right there.
It does. I think the good news is I don't think he can get any spin on it, so he should be able to hit something that might knuckle and just kind of hit and release and roll up the slope. It all depends if he makes good contact. No, he got it heavy.
Will that roll back down?
Yes, that'll come back.
Yeah, he might look back and say that might be the turning point right there if Woods were to go on and beat him, as that exchange. I didn't think that was that hard of a shot by Sutton, but I guess this rough is really tough.
Hal said it yesterday. He said on this course you have to be willing to accept the unexpected. If you don't, you can't move on and succeed.
Watch this shot, nice close up. See him hit a little bit behind it maybe, and maybe he's worried about going a little long, Roger. I don't know.
Well, if the ball kind of squirts out of there, I guess that was a possibility. But
you ever been over this green with that back hole location?
A couple of times, Johnny, and I swore to myself I'd never do it after the first time. I messed up, and I did it once again. It's not good.
No, it's about, what, 6 feet deep back there?
Real deep. You don't see any part of the green from back there.
This is a very important exchange, I believe, at this point in the championship. Sutton is just parring every hole. Reminds me of Nick Faldo when he won the British Open. Parred every hole to win. Troon, I think it was. Or was it Lytham, Raj?
I'm going to say Muirfield.
Muirfield, there you go. Well, I was going down the rotation. I'd get there eventually.
Get the whole road in.
Golf Jeopardy with Johnny.
This now for about 25 feet uphill, moving a little to the right.
Is that in?
Oh,
yes,
my.
it is.
Oh.
What a 4 for Sutton. And he moves to double digits under.
I made that long putt, and that was a little bit of a turnaround. That was the second turnaround, actually, in the day. The first turnaround was when I got it up and down out of the bunker on number 8. That may be the greatest shot Hal Sutton ever hit in his life under pressure. The ball was in the bunker left of the green, and I couldn't stand in the bunker. The ball was way below my feet, and I'll never forget Tiger walking over and looking at it. And I know what he said in his mind is, I got him here because he can't hit this shot. And what went through my mind at that point was, yes, I can hit this shot, and I must hit this shot if I want to win this tournament. And I hit it out about 8 feet and made the putt, but that was the first turning point. The second one was putt at 11.
Tiger Woods now with a birdie attempt.
And now this exchange we were talking about, Roger, is sort of backfired, and I'm sure Tiger's mind's figuring, okay, I'm 2 back, Sutton will make another par, and I'm going to make this and be 1 back.
This putt now might move just a little bit from right to left. You know, I think a lot of people here, John, have admired Hal's statements about the competition today and not knuckling under.
Big putt here.
Slow.
Sutton's lead is 3.
That's a very uncharacteristically weak putt by Tiger. He doesn't like something over there.
7 holes left. Over to 14.
Colin Montgomery said for his par putt here, Ed, he hadn't made a par on the back.
Well, this is obviously a must-make if he's to have any outside chance of winning. Can't afford to lose one here.
Does anything, it dies a little left. Oh, wiggle to the right. And back to 12.
Now the shortest par 4 on the golf course, just 358 yards. A lot of options for the players.
3-wood here, Gary.
The hole, a slight dogleg left, and you certainly want to stay away from the left side.
That's fine. Left center of the fairway, bouncing right. Very good.
I mean, how good does this guy hit the ball?
Solid every time, Johnny.
I mean, seriously, just it'd drive you nuts if you're playing him and he gets ahead of you.
All right, Roger, it appears that Tiger has taken the long iron.
He has 2 iron here. This ball headed right. Right on the edge of the fairway. See what happens.
Gets a break, gets by the one tree. The rough on that side not nearly as difficult as it is on the left. Hal Sutton relentless in his pursuit of his second Players Championship. He holds a 3-shot lead after 11 holes. He's in perfect position at the short par 4 12th. Tiger Woods is in the rough.
I don't know if you folks at home picked it up, but a little rumbling of thunder in the background as Tiger Woods gets ready to play his second at the 12th.
He's found the rough on the right-hand side, and Roger, as I mentioned, I don't think the rough over there is nearly as severe as it is on the left.
Well, it is not, Gary. That is true. But Tiger has kind of a knuckly lie. I don't know how much spin he will be able to get on this ball. Has 114 yards to the hole.
Well, the good news is the hole is cut all the way in the back portion of the green, so he could land it short and let it release.
Headed very high into the right. And I think a rather indifferent shot from there, don't you, Gary?
Well, it comes out very softly. I think he was expecting it to jump a little bit more, and that is a long way from the hole.
Doesn't make anybody happy, I can tell you that.
Well, that is the horn that suspends play.
And I would imagine Gary Hal Sutton would just kind of like to keep on this roll rather than wait around for weather.
I was a little bit disappointed because the golf course was playing to my advantage. It was hard and fast, and you know, it took his length of advantage away from him. I had him 3 down at that point, and so I felt like if we could have kept playing, you know, we could have built on more of the same. But we never know. We'll never know the answer to that.
Play was canceled for the rest of the day on Sunday, with the final round resuming on Monday. As we heard from Hal, the suspended play smothered his momentum and allowed Tiger time to regroup. Soft conditions from the rain would give Woods the length advantage when play resumed. How much would that factor into the outcome? We pick up play as the horn sounds on Monday. Hal Sutton ready for his approach on the 12th.
The final pairing, Hal Sutton and Tiger Woods out at the 12th. Tiger Woods has already played his second. He has a difficult birdie bid out there, and now Hal Sutton with just 82 yards left.
He's got a great chance here to increase his lead to 4 shots, and it looked like he stuck it in the ground a little bit there.
He did. He caught it a little heavy, John. No spin at all on the ball.
Sutton with the 3-shot lead as we go over to the 13th.
And Tom Lehman on the tee, and Mark Rolfing, you're right there.
Completely different hole this morning, Murph. Lehman's got a 6-iron, a little bit of wind into the player's face today. Pretty scary shot to start the day with. And that's not bad.
No, sir. Took it right over the top of the flag.
Well, we welcome you to the 5th day in the playing of this championship. Dan Hicks along with Johnny Miller, and that was a good opportunity for Hal Sutton at the 12th there, with Tiger Woods faced with a difficult 2-putt for Hal to put the pressure even further on Tiger Woods and make the comeback even tougher on this back 9.
And if you watch that swing he made there, he actually, it was not a very free-flowing swing, and he came through and then he turned the club over like this after he hit it fat, and probably a lot of nerves. You know, it's tough when you really look at Hal Sutton. It's one thing to sit on a lead for 1 or 2 nights, but this guy led after Thursday, so he sat on the lead Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and I'm telling you, that is hard to do when you're 41 years old. You would think maybe there'd be a crack, but dodged a bullet here, having Hal hit it so far from the hole, so tough 2-putt here by Tiger.
Now this putt from well over 40 feet. Should be a double breaker, moving to the right and then back left. Tough to judge the speed when you're starting off, Johnny, with a 40-foot putt on the very first hole.
No doubt about it, but at least he's left himself underneath the hole a bit. Could be a little bit of nerves right now, don't you think, Gary, even for, you know, the best players in the world?
Well, I think I agree, Johnny, and I think the reason is, you know, you're trying to get back into the flow of playing. You know, yesterday they had gone through the 11 holes and were into the flow. We'll go over to 15.
It's the par 4, and Colin Montgomery getting ready for a second shot from the rough. Ed Sneed with this group.
That's from 138 yards, Dan. Coming from the light rough, but the soft green should make it somewhat easy to stop.
I tell you, Colin Montgomery would be leading this championship if it weren't for some poor play and some big numbers on 3 holes. Back over to the 12th.
Well, the shortest par 4 on the golf course, and Hal Sutton has literally owned this hole, making birdies here each of the first 3 rounds. But Roger, a very lengthy putt here.
It is about 35 feet, but uphill. That's the good news.
Beautifully judged for speed. Easy 4 for Hal Sutton. Johnny, how big a putt do you think this is for Tiger Woods?
I think it's almost a must-make. Even though this golf course, you could pick up 4 strokes. To be honest with you, if Colin Montgomery or Tom Lehman went nuts from here to the finish, they even have an outside chance if Sutton were to have troubles at 17 or maybe even on 18, because it's not out of the question that 7 under could win this championship. So there's several people that are not out of it, but this one for Tiger, just to set the stage and set the momentum straight. If he makes this, he'll almost feel like he's got a little momentum. This does go a little right, doesn't it, Gary?
Should, but I think you have to keep it in the hole left side. Got it out of the hole. That was not a good stroke. Not the start Tiger Woods was looking for, obviously.
Well, you don't usually bogey number 12, huh, Gary?
No, you certainly don't. And I think having that length putt for your first shot of the day, very, very tough. We talked about it. Hard to judge the speed.
Looked like he hit that putt out in the toe of the putter.
Hal Sutton with just 6 to play.
One of Tiger Woods' most amazing and electrifying victories came at the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am in February of 2000. Woods was in quest of his 6th consecutive Tour triumph, trying to tie Ben Hogan's mark from 1948. 7 strokes down to Matt Gogol with 7 to play, Tiger began his comeback, charging by holding his approach on the 15th for eagle.
Go in. Oh!
Then, after a huge drive on the 16th, he went flag hunting again, with his approach setting up the birdie.
Oh, no, he just about made 2 in a row.
After a par on 17, Tiger hit 2 perfect shots, just shy of the green on the par 5 18th. He then chipped to 4 feet, sank the putt for birdie to seize the lead and complete a final round 64. In his attempt to claim the victory, Matt Gogol was unable to match Woods' memorable charge on the Monterey Peninsula.
We go over to Colin Montgomery, his 3rd shot at the par 4 15th.
A little surprising that he short-sighted it from such a good tee shot. Now he's chunked it a little bit on the chip, so
faced perhaps with back-to-back bogeys for Lehman. Over to 13.
And Tom Lehman from in back of the hole. The green today slightly slower because of the rain. And Tom Lehman has misjudged that somewhat. He remains at 4 under par.
Back out to the action at the 13th.
And Roger's on the ground there. Choice of clubs, Roger?
6-iron, Murph, 172 yards. No reason to aim with the flagstick. Put it in the center of the green, see if you can utilize the slope.
You bet.
This ball right of the hole, turning. This should catch the slope.
Beautiful golf shot. Hal Sutton is driving the wagon right now. Tiger has to perform some mysteries. To 15.
Monty for his par.
Sort of a must-make at this point.
Got it. He remains at 4 under. And back to 13.
Tiger said this morning, Roger, that he felt like he had more advantage coming out this morning on his iron shots than he did driving it off the tee.
Well, he's going to have to start playing some very aggressive iron shots if Hal Sutton's going to keep striking the ball like that. This is 7-iron. Shot right of the hole, turning back, just right of the flagstick. Very nice looking golf shot here.
That's what he was talking about. Throw it up in the air and slam it right at the pin. So Tiger, in some sort of desperation here, needs to keep hitting them just like that on the way in.
Golf's greatest rounds for the 2000 Players Championship is presented by Rolex.
Welcome back to the Players Championship. Hal Sutton and Tiger Woods reached the 13th hole. Hal Sutton is doing a lot of things right. This putt, Johnny Miller, if it does anything, I think it goes a little left.
I think you have it exactly right. I have it charted at right edge, inside right edge. This would be huge. Picked up a shot in the last hole if you just tuned in. He's got a 4-shot lead right now.
Left.
Hit it out, way out on the toe. Did you see that, Murph?
I thought he started the ball right in the center, and that was a misread. There's his history on the back 9 this week. Certainly not as good as the front. But he doesn't have to do anything spectacular on the way in.
I'd almost guarantee you he's saying, hey, I'm going to just par them all, maybe birdie 16, and say see you later.
Tiger now. Roger Maltby, this putt, watching this putt, the players have misjudged speed, number one, and the amount of break, number two. It breaks to the right pretty quickly.
Well, definitely a speed putt, Murph. Got to get the ball off the hole on the left-hand side, and you have to match your pace to the line you've chosen. I think certainly the harder of the two putts. Hal's was much simpler, but he just didn't hit a very good putt.
Tiger has not made a birdie since number one.
Doesn't really have the luxury of being able to miss any of these right now, does he, Murph?
No, the good news is that he putts with a lot of speed, so he probably will get the ball to the hole. And as a matter of fact, he'll probably make it. Yes, sir. Very, very good putt. And back down in the fairway on 14. Actually, not in the fairway, Mark Rolfing. Tom Lehman.
No, but he's got a pretty good lie in this bunker. 230 yards to the hole, though. It is playing very long 14 right now.
Now, if he can hit that hot draw that he's able to hit onto the right side of the green and chase it back to that back left hole location, that would be the shot.
Hung it out to the right, Johnny needs a friendly kick here. And it'll come up just short.
You would think that Tiger would have an advantage at 14 and 16 today, which are two critical holes with his length, because Hal gets a lot of his distance on the ground, where Tiger doesn't get a lot of roll in the wet conditions.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is miss this ball to the right up in that heavy rough up there, which will be even worse today, Johnny Miller, with the rain having just soaked that heavy, long stuff right down.
Yeah, this is a tough drive for Tiger. Just the one thing he doesn't want to do is take himself out of this thing by trying to hit it too hard and hitting a big power hook left in the water.
This is nailed right down the center. Hooking slightly, should be on the lower side of the fairway on the left.
Hit right into the knob, Raj, and lost a little distance, but let's take a look at this swing. Beautiful setup. You see how well he turns and the torque. Look at the left lat and look at the hip drive. That's amazing. He just winds it up, totally winds up, and that left hip fires a lot like Ben Hogan tried to do and creates even more torque, and then it just flashes through the ball.
This ball going down on the same line as Tiger's. That too will find the left side of the fairway.
Got a very nice kick there, nice bounce to 18.
Finishing hole, third shot, just off the green for Jeff Maggart. You see the hole location today.
Pretty popular spot there to take the water out of play. This putt does not do a lot. Watch this. Moves a little right, but not much. Pretty straight from there.
Jeff Maggart is going to be tied for third after beginning the final round, and a tie for 15th. Opened with a 77, closes with a nice 68. Hal Sutton, 3 better than Tiger Woods. Through 13, who will come out on top? Number 1 on the right in the world, number 11 in the world, Hal Sutton.
Par 5 16th. This a moment ago, the third shot for Fred Funk. Just short of the green. Pitches it up and right in for an eagle. That's the 7th eagle of the day on the easiest hole on the golf course. And that's what can happen at the 16th. We go to 14.
Tom Lehman set to putt for his par. Rather poor chip shot. I guess he misjudged it. This 14th hole has just beaten the guys unmercifully this week. Back to 16.
Birdie putt for Scott Dunlap. This to get him to 4 under. And in that log jam for third place, the former University of Florida golfer. Sarasota, Florida, playing quite well. We'll go back over to the 14th.
Well, Tom Lehman made a single par on this hole. He's made 2 bogeys and putting for a third, Mark Rolfe.
It's been a tough Monday morning for this pair. Jeff Sluman hit his first shot of the day in the water at 13. He's gone double bogey bogey. Still a lot of cash on the line and a lot of world ranking points, Murph, for these guys.
Yeah, you bet. Back to 16.
Second shot, Colin Montgomery. This from 217 yards, a 3-iron. Ordinarily, you would think it sets up well for Monty's high fade, but he's watching it anxiously. Well left of the green. To 14.
Back to Hal Sutton, Roger Maltby.
206 yards to the hole. Wind against slightly. This a 3-iron. I'm sure this will be hit at the center of the green. He's done just that, right at the center of the green.
Very, very smart play. That whole location, it's just so hard to explain to the folks at home what it looks like from out there in that fairway.
Well, the flagstick looks like it's just sticking up out of nothing.
Yes.
It's just over there off to the side.
You can't see the green surface. Tiger has a double problem now. He's behind the tree. The tree's not in play as far as the shot goes as an obstruction, but as a view and as a feeling of comfort, it is.
Well, I would think, Murph, that the second shot of Hal Sutton will have a lot to do with how Tiger now approaches this shot. Had Hal hit a poor shot, and I think Tiger would have played conservatively, but now he's got to figure out a way to try to turn this ball right to left and get him some kind of birdie putt. This from 179 yards.
Doesn't want to miss it left or long.
He's hit it very high, just right of the hole. This is a good-looking shot if the distance is correct.
Very good shot, some 20, 22 feet short, I would say.
Tiger Woods trailing by 3 as they play the 14th. Is another comeback in the offing, or will Hal Sutton hang on to win this championship for the second time? He first did it 17 years ago.
The Year in Golf is presented by Rolex.
2000 was the year of Tiger might and remaking the golf ball. Tiger Woods becomes the first player since Ben Hogan in 1953 to win 3 majors in 1 year. Solid core urethane covered balls begin replacing wound core balls. Corey Webb wins the Bear Trophy and is the leading money winner on the LPGA Tour. Vijay Singh wins the Masters, his second major, holding off Ernie Els and David Duval. Europe wins the Solheim Cup, 14.5 to 11.5 at Loch Lomond Golf Club in Scotland.
Here at the par 5 16th, third shot, Colin Montgomery. Ball has trickled right up against the collar of rough. And now trying to hit it off the top ledge to the lower. Just a difficult shot from there. Yeah, you hear Colin, what a lie.
And at 18, Justin Leonard, champion here a few years ago, trying to finish up with a par. Just off the mark. Began the final round at even par, plays a final round of 74 plus 2 for the championship. 14.
14's been good to Hal Sutton. He's made 2 birdies here. Probably the only guy in the field to do that. Okay. Back to 15.
And Lee Jansen, another champion here for par. Back in 95, Jansen won it with a final total of 283, 5 under. Edging Bernhard longer, but a bogey for Lee drops him back to even in this final round. 3 under for the championship as we send you back to 14.
Roger Maltby, almost the same putt that we saw Tom Lehman with earlier. His ball died to the right at the hole.
Well, it looks like it'll do that speed. I think the tough issue here, uphill the first 20 feet, the last 10 feet starts to fall away slightly to the back of the green. That one didn't move right at all in the area of the cup, and he can't believe it.
Sure didn't. And to 16.
Birdie putt for Ernie Els. And Ernie needs one. And a tough day for him. Oh. Finally, something good happens. Els back to 1 over par for the championship. And still 3 over par in his final round. Back to 14.
Tiger has played this hole par, birdie, bogey yesterday. Saturday, I should say. Iron shot did not release, Roger. I was very surprised.
Yeah, just hitting the face of the upslope, Murph, and being into the wind, had enough spin to come back.
Good par. Colin Montgomery made his par at 16. And Hal Sutton for his par. These players take their time on these short putts, don't they, Roger?
Well, a shot from this distance is just as big as a 300-yard drive. I wouldn't think this putt does much here.
No. So Hal takes a little walk to 15T with a 3-shot lead to 17.
Fred Funk on the tee at the par 3, measuring 145 yards. That's right, the hole cut over on the far right-hand side of the green. This is an 8-iron. Oh, yes. And the shot into 17, perhaps a little easier now in this finishing round. Not much wind. The green certainly very receptive after the rains. Now next to play will be Scott Dunlap. Again at 4 under par and a tie for 3rd. Dunlap playing in just his 2nd Players Championship. His only other previous appearance. He missed the cut back in 1997.
Pretty good start this year, huh, Gary? He's had a 6th at Hawaii and a 12th at LA.
Very solid striker of the golf ball, John. Kind of an old-fashioned swing. Club gets kind of low over his shoulder. But he strikes the ball very solidly. Watching it pretty intently, right over the flagstick, and 2 beautiful shots at 17 from Funk and Dunlap. We go back to 15.
And Tiger Woods on the tee of this par 4, 449 yards, slight dogleg to the right.
The shot here, you can see in the graphic on the right, is a nice cut. It shapes it right around the bunker on the right. Started out in this area here. And going with that driver. He's cut follow through.
He's done just that. It is cutting. It should be very good.
It makes the hole a birdie hole.
Well, Hal Sutton has played holes 1 through 14 this championship weekend, 15 under par, but 15 through 18 plus 5. Tigers even on the last 4 holes.
Tee shot straight down the center.
Hal Sutton continuing to answer all of Tiger's surges here. The lead is 3, 4 holes to play in the Players' Championship. Hal Sutton will be the first to play. Roger, what does he have left?
150 yards to the hole, 144 to cover the front edge. Wind from the left and maybe helping slightly.
Roger, I'm a little surprised. They said the hole locations on Sunday, well, it's Monday now, but they're set Sunday, would be the same as usual, and I've seen a lot of new hole locations. Last one was the same, but this one's different.
Don't usually see it up here in the front of the green, no.
Yeah, normally back left. This thing is right on the very front with a false edge on the left. If you hit it over here, it'll roll off.
This is an 8-iron.
3 up with 4 holes to go.
He's hit it very solidly and just right of the hole.
You know, so many parallels between these two players, although it parallels in different generations. Both won the U.S. Amateur Championships. Both played on the Walker Cup team. Both college players of the year. Both players of the year on the PGA Tour in their second season. Both rookies of the year. Both have won the PGA Championship. Both, of course, the next Nicklauses as well.
Now this next Nicklaus is the next Nicklaus.
This now from 136. And this is pulled left to the green. Bad swing there, John.
Wow. But maybe a good break going in the bunker, but not an easy bunker shot.
We're at the Island Green, par 3, 17th. Scott Dunlap will be first to putt, and a chance to move into third place alone. After that great iron shot, he's left with a putt of 8 feet 2 inches, and we know that because of our laser information that has been provided to us. Dunlap has played this 17th like he's owned it. Birdies on the first 2 days.
Nice uphill putt on Gary's right edge.
That's exactly right. Now, Johnny, if there is a weakness in this man's game, it is right here. Not the best of putters.
Does anybody really ever own 17, though, Gary?
Well, let's put it this way. He's played it in 2 under for the 4 rounds. Dan, that's as probably close as you'll ever get.
Maybe he has a temporary lease on it.
I guess so. All right, back across the pond, we find Paul Azinger with an eagle putt here in 16.
Goes right?
Yes, should move a little right, John. Tough day for Zinger now. 3 over par in his final round.
Putts with that putter up against his belly, right?
Yes. About
Look at
46 inches in length. Boy, hit a good putt. Hit a good putt.
Third shot, Tiger Woods at the par 4 15th.
Just 15 feet of green to stop that ball. Not bad.
We'll have that for par to remain at 7 under. Johnny, another look at his swing from the fairway.
One thing I've sort of studied over the years is when you're standing above the ball, and he is above the ball an inch, if you don't notice it, for some reason, you come down and come over the top. And see how he starts to release early, about 6 inches from the ball. He goes ahead and releases his right side, and of course just hits his.
Hal Sutton has a putt to up the lead, back up to 4.
Just about 20 feet downhill. Might move a little bit to his left, not much.
Roger, have you seen anybody really hit the ball with more authority and sort of call shot golf than this guy does?
Not day in and day out. I don't see it.
Well, Hal Sutton has slept on the lead each night in this championship, as we mentioned earlier, in trying to join the 3 previous wire-to-wire winners in this championship. The last time pulled off by Steve Elkington a few years ago. Greg Norman there with a 24 under par record score, and Sutton is in with his par 4 at 15, and Tiger has one to try and match it and stay 3 back.
Pretty impressive by Sutton. He's really only had 2 1-putts, Roger, and he's 1 under par for the counting yesterday and today.
Just, you know, John, as we've kind of documented, he just doesn't put his ball in jeopardy very often.
The only time he did, Roger, was at 17, which produced that triple bogey the other day. But the last 42 holes, as you look at Tiger's card in this final round, Hal Sutton has only dropped a shot on 1 hole, and that was at the 17th on Saturday.
This putt's got a little right to left in it, doesn't Roger?
It does. Got to get it off the hole on the right-hand side, John, and you know, they're all must-makes for Tiger now.
He's putting Sutton's putting a lot of pressure on Tiger. He's just not letting up.
And that was all part of his game plan. That's exactly what he thought he could do, and he certainly has executed that.
par 4. Woods 3 back, 3 to play. An intriguing par 5 16th coming up next.
Welcome back to our coverage of the final round of the Players' Championship here at the TPC at Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. And we're happy to report under much better conditions than we left you on Sunday. Here at the par 5 16th, birdie putt now for Lee Janzen, forced to lay up on the par 5. Played a beautiful third shot to here. Putt that moves a little bit right to left. Nope, that's left all the way. Not a good stroke. Janzen misses a birdie opportunity. We go across to the 17th. The always fascinating hole on the tee, Paul Azinger with a 9-iron. And Johnny, I have to say the hole playing considerably easier right now than it has played at any time during the week.
You can see that hole location, 145 yards. Of course, he made hole-in-one this week on this hole, so he has some pretty good thoughts going here. He probably figured, what the heck? Let's make 2 in 1 week, right there.
One more time.
Virtually no wind. Green's very receptive. He'll try to play it left and funnel it down off the slope. And 17 right now is a birdie hole. Good shot. Let's go back and take a look at the hole-in-one that Johnny Miller mentioned. This was in Saturday's third round. Back center hole location.
It's about as perfect a hole-in-one as you'll ever see, huh, Gary?
Yeah, beautiful. Lands it short, ball releases, and just plops in like it knew right where it wanted to go. Just the 4th ace in the history of the event here at 17. We'll move ahead to 18.
And a big shot for Scott Dunlap, his second on this finishing hole.
And I'll tell you, you think there isn't any pressure on this man right now. He's looking at the biggest check of his life.
Well, solo third, Johnny, worth $408,000. There's a 5-way tie for third at the moment. That would be worth $270,000. It would be the best ever tour finish for Dunlap. Over to 16.
Second shot for Jeff Sluman. That from 234 yards.
He's pulled it left, Gary.
Kind of funnels through the big oak tree there and comes up in the intermediate cut of rough. Let's take a good look at the par 5 16th. Dog leg left. Awkward tee shot, though. The fairway slopes pretty hard from left to right. Right about in here. Certainly reachable by virtually everyone in the field, but the difficulty trying to skirt the ball past that huge oak tree, the 2 oak trees that guard the left-hand side. Hole today cut over in the middle right portion of the green. Hal Sutton waiting on the tee as Tom Lehman prepares to play his second shot mark.
He's got 214 yards. And it's been a rather scruffy final round for him over the 2 days, Gary. He actually has more bogeys on his card than he does pars. He's made 6 bogeys over the 2 days.
See there that about 50% of the players who have gone for the green in 2 have managed to reach the putting surface.
A little bit of an awkward lie right on the downslope here in the fairway.
Finds the front left portion of the green. Long way from the hole. Back on the tee. Tiger Woods. Again, this is the shortest par 5 on the golf course, just 507 yards in length. It has played as the easiest hole. Already seen 17 eagles.
Wouldn't you think, Gary, he has to pick up at least 1 shot here if he's going to have a reasonable chance? He has not birdied any of the par 5s in this final round.
Well, he's hit this one good and solid, going down the left center of the fairway. He'll have every opportunity to reach this one, too.
Yeah, there you see the ball kicking to the right as the fairway kind of moves in that direction, but that is well placed and it looks huge.
Well, the last time Hal hit his drive here, Raj, tell us about it.
Low left, got a great break, bounced out of the trees on the left-hand side.
great second shot, a layup. He had to hit it at the water and hook it around. Set up way right.
And it looks like it's going right.
He was set up way over there in the rough trying to play a hook, I guess, and did not hook.
Well, Hal Sutton will be forced to lay up. Tiger Woods, after a huge tee shot, left with just 195 yards to the hole. He can reach easily.
He's James Patterson. His average drive is 350 yards. He never misses a putt under 6 feet, and he's parred Augusta.
In my dreams.
Read Miracle at Augusta, a golf novel by James Patterson.
Sky is the greatest light show on Earth. We humbly offer a way to design and build a worthy stage. Trex. For design ideas and samples, visit Trex.com.
People that would do anything for golf deserve a store that would do anything for golfers. Trade-in Days at Golfsmith is in its final days. Trade in your old clubs for a 50% bonus towards new ones. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
When Hal Sutton won his first Players and the PGA Championship, Ronald Reagan was President of the United States, and Tiger Woods was 7 years old. The year was 1983, and Sutton was the heir apparent, following in the footsteps of Jack Nicklaus. He became the tour's leading money winner, a star ascendant, a 25-year-old on the cusp of a long and lucrative career. Then he seemingly lost his way.
This whole thing's a journey. There's potholes on the road, and I hit a couple of potholes and became more interested in other things and took my mind off of the game of golf and consequently lost the feeling.
Sutton eventually went back to his college coach, Floyd Horrigan, and started slowly to find his game. His comeback began in 1998 when he won 3 events on tour in 23 months. Then he became the unofficial most valuable player of the 1999 Ryder Cup, posting a 3-1-1 record in the American win at Brookline. In 2000, Sutton is trying to bring his career full circle by outdueling Tiger at the Players.
Good to see the sunshine back in Northeast Florida. Hal Sutton with a 3-shot lead as he and Tiger Woods play the 16th. Host of players tied for third at 4 under, including this man, Scott Dunlap. This for birdie from behind 18.
I know he didn't want to short side that second shot, but it ended up just fine. The collar's a bit of a problem, but he should be able to cozy it up there and get out of here with a par. A very nice finish.
And he will see if that 4 under score will hold up as a part of third place. 17.
Birdie putt for Paul Azinger up the hill, moving right. Azinger has not putted as well as we saw him putt earlier in the year when he won the Hawaiian Open.
Over to 16.
Hal Sutton with his second shot, and Roger forced to lay up.
Forced to lay up, but I don't think he ever had any intention of trying to knock it on this green in 2. This is an 8-iron now. Not a very good lie. Not an easy layup. But he's caught it solidly.
That'll be in fine shape.
And out in the fairway, Colin Montgomery. Again, 18, the most difficult hole on the golf course this championship week. Better than a half-stroke over par it's averaging.
167 yards, most likely a 7-iron, and he short sights it also, and you can see that. Oh, now there's a little unlucky right there, and that is, look, it rolled into a hole. That's not a good break.
Tiger Woods waits at the par 5 16th. The green to clear. Let's take a look at what has happened here at 16 from scoring zones. Hal Sutton forced a layup into that area right there where the players are averaging 4.80. Well, obviously, if you find the water, you're going to play the hole over par. Just 2 players in there so far from just in front of the green, and pretty easy up and down with this middle right hole location. Left side, a little more difficult. And the players who have found the putting surface in 2 have actually averaged below birdie. And at 16, the birdie putt for Tom Lehman. All right, nicely in, moves him to 4 under, and his up and down round continues.
It rained like 2.5 inches that night, and all of a sudden we went from a hard, fast golf course to a slower where length is really going to make a big difference. And I mean, I remember talking before the round started with my caddy, and I told him, I said, we got to get to 16 with a 3-shot lead, because in all likelihood I won't go for the green and he will. So he stands a chance of making 3 and I stand a chance of making 5. If we get to 17 with a 1-shot lead, he and I both have got to play 17 and 18 the exact same way. So then it's just, let's tee it up and go.
This is a 5-iron. Went back in his face now.
Well, it is cutting, and it is slightly right of the hole. Oh, very nicely done. Woods with a very makeable putt for an eagle.
Pretty gutsy, huh?
Well, yeah.
What do we expect from this guy, huh?
See his reaction. Yeah. Now Hal Sutton's 3rd shot, Roger.
123 yards. We're going to wait for the crowd to settle down a little bit.
Good yardage for him, don't you think? Just a nice full pitching wedge?
Solid pitching wedge. And he has started this left of the hole. Going to try to use that slope left.
A little bit unlucky. Softness in the green. The ball spins way back. Tiger Woods on the green with a makeable eagle putt at 16. Hal Sutton, a lengthy birdie putt. We'll be right back.
Golf's greatest rounds for the 2000 Players Championship is presented by Rolex.
This was a short time ago. Colin Montgomery's bid for par at 18.
Watch this putt. Could be a key putt for the Woods group.
Oh, Montgomery. A final round of 70. And he is currently in that tie for 3rd. And over to the drama at 16.
Now Sutton will be first to play. And Roger, how would you classify the wedge shot? A little indifferent?
Well, you know, with the lead he has, Gary, I can see him looking left of the hole, but he could have carried the ball deeper into the green. I would say a little tentative, but I think under the situation, not necessarily uncalled for, but this putt now should move a little bit to the right as it loses speed, not much.
That's short. It's way short. Way short. That is not in yet, Roger. About 3 feet or so?
About 3 feet, yes. And it'll look a lot longer if Tiger can pour this one in.
Well, this putt about the same length and almost the exact position on the green where Fred Couples was able to make a putt for an eagle on the way to his winning the championship. Back in 1997, I believe it was. 96, excuse me.
Should move left early in the putt and then maybe try to go back right at the hole?
I would think that is a good read, Roger. There's a little brow coming into the green. You see Tiger pointing over to 17 to let Tom Lehman play his tee shot first, as there is not much distance between the 2 holes. Tom has selected a 9-iron. Mark Rolfing's right there.
Well, it's interesting. It's going to make Hal Sutton wait even longer, Gary, I think.
Well, this is kind of the beauty of the drama of the stage that's set here at 16 and 17. Both holes right next to one another.
Tom.
For the first time, we're seeing the flag stick, or the flag, move a little bit at 17. The wind starting to pick up ever so slightly, so that shot not quite as easy as it has been. Now back over to Tiger Woods. And guys, what has to be considered a critical putt.
Not a hard putt. It's pretty straight, isn't it?
Overall, John, yes, it'll go a little left to start with, kind of off the brow that's just to the right of Tiger. You can kind of see there. And then it just wants to maybe filter back to the right slightly at the hole. Well, interesting. Tiger waited for Tom Lehman to play, but did not wait as Jeff Sluman played his tee shot. A smattering of applause, so Tiger backs off.
This is definitely a Tiger moment, isn't it?
Johnny, you just get the sense that this putt's going in. All right, should straighten up a little. Here it is. Yes, Tiger Woods to 9 under par. The game is on now, boys.
This 3-footer just got a little longer.
That got Mr. Sutton's attention, didn't it?
Well, I think that Tiger looks for a weakness or a guy that maybe is starting to think about leaking a little oil, and the tee shot and then the third shot didn't look too good, and then the fourth shot, the putt, didn't look good at all, and that sort of feeds Tiger a little bit of raw meat.
All right, safely in, but Sutton's lead is now just 1 as they take the 121 pace walk from the back edge of the 16th green over to the 17th tee. Walk that takes about 1 minute and 10 seconds, and amazing how many thoughts you can have in that short a period of time.
What happened to that comfortable lead, huh?
It evaporated quickly, didn't it, John?
Wow, that's something. Roger, got to be pretty electrifying out there, and I know we don't have as big a galleries, but still pretty big galleries.
Well, that woke up the crowd, no question about that, and it'll have a major bearing on the shot selection of Hal Sutton here at 17.
Let's go back and take another look at the eagle putt. Tiger Woods' main.
Shot off that brow you talked about left. He played it perfectly, and then flattened it out right there.
Read it beautifully.
That's not an easy putt to make.
He made it look easy, Johnny. How many times have we seen this? Right toward the end of the round, Tiger Woods coming on strong, and Hal Sutton could just only sit by and watch.
Well, some history on this island green by both Tiger Woods and Hal Sutton, good and bad. Back in '83, he was only 24 years old, and a Monday finish started the day 4 back of John Cook, helped seal the victory with this pinpoint approach. Made birdie, won the championship by 1 over Bob Eastwood. Then championship match of the '94 U.S. Amateur. Tiger Woods just 18 years old, and one of our first glimpses of the now famous fist pump. Birdie, part of a remarkable comeback against Trip Keeney to win the first of 3 straight U.S. Amateur championships. Then in the first round on Thursday, 17 exacted some revenge from Tiger. 3 under when he got there after the double. He fell back to 1 under par. Then Saturday, Hal Sutton to the tee with a 4-shot lead. A triple bogey 6 later, the lead was 1. That's exactly what it is right now at 17. Feast or famine. Not a lot in between here.
Well, Dan, as you say, both players have put the ball in the water. Hal Sutton actually 3-putted the hole Friday's second round, so he has played this short par 3 and 4 over par. And up at the green, this is the birdie putt for Tom Lehman. Just to get to 5 under and move into 3rd place. Left to right breaker, up the hill, firm enough? No. So Lehman will tap in with Tiger Woods watching from the tee. Remains at 4 under.
Gary, when Tom Lehman came past me walking up to the 17th green, he turned around and looked at a couple of geese who were watching Tiger putt over there, and they were totally frozen. He said, even the geese are watching.
Well, of Quite a moment.
That's really the beauty of this setting down here. You can see everything happening on both holes.
We'll go up to 18.
Robert Dameron for par. And that to remain at 4 under. He's tied for third with Colin Montgomery and Jeff Maggart, as well as Scott Dunlap. And back to 17.
Birdie putt for Jeff Sluman. Tough day for Sluman. He's back to even par for the championship. Tough final round. That's 4 over par for him. And a struggle. Guys, some obviously critical tee shots here now at this potentially punishing par 3.
Well, Gary, they've thrown up grass from the front of this tee. It's blown backwards. It's blown forwards toward the hole. The one thing it has done very consistently is it's moving a little bit to the right, but I sense that it's helping slightly.
Roger, an interesting club selection for Tiger. He hit the pitching wedge when it was playing 145 yards in the 3rd round.
This is a pitching wedge. Right of the hole a little bit.
Oh, spins back into the heavy rough.
Only way I was going to hit it at that flag was if he had gotten to the point prior to that he was ahead of me and I had to hit it at the flag. But I had a 1-shot lead, so I didn't have to hit it at that flag. And at that point, it was, okay, you beat me instead of me beat myself. And that's what I wanted to make sure. I wasn't going to beat myself. So if he was going to win, he had to beat me.
Looking right at it.
Well, he's pulled it left of the hole at the center of the green.
Well, it's safely in the middle of the green, but it's on the upper tier. Certainly no guarantee 2-putt from there. Tiger Woods in the long rough short of the green, so 1 shot behind. Hal Sutton perhaps with the advantage. He's on the putting surface. As both stride onto the island green. And let's take a look at what's happened here at the 17th. The upper level where Hal Sutton's ball is, we've seen 2 birdie putts made, the 2 red balls. We've seen 2 3-putts, the 2 blue balls. Tiger Woods in the area between the bunker right there, yep. Between the bunker and the green. Not a difficult chip shot, depending on the lie. And Johnny, I've got to think that with Sutton away, this putt probably a little bit easier than it might have been any of the other rounds of this event because the green's a little softer and perhaps a little slower.
I agree with that, and you can see the pressure that was on both players. Tiger, of course, was going at it, but just misinterpreted the wind or maybe mishit it slightly. But Sutton clearly was being an aggressive stance, going right at the hole location, maybe a couple feet left, and just smart, I guess, just came over the top of it and kept it on land, which is a lot better than going right. But the nerves are showing a little. I saw Hal sort of trying to get some saliva in his mouth the last 10 or 15 minutes, which is understandable.
Putting now from 31 feet 8 inches, and I would say if he's not careful, a putt that you could probably leave short. He's putting off this upper level and then down. Should come over the hill now and start picking up some speed, but beautifully judged. But still rolls a little bit by.
Just kind of pitch shot guys that you'd think he'd be thinking about holing out, or just basically?
I think it's makeable, Johnny. I mean, it's going uphill. It is moving left to right. I think a big question mark is the lie. Seems like we can see quite a bit of ball.
Well, he shook his head when he took a look at it. He didn't like it.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of grass there. comes up well short. Just trying to power the club through. You see the grass grab the club. Good look here. There'll be a lot of grass coming out of there. Tiger away, Roger?
Yes, I believe so, Gary.
Well, we saw this putt well struck by Jeff Sluman with good pace, Gary, and it just dead sliced to miss.
Yeah, it's not an easy putt. Ball has to be played out of the hole and has to be struck with some speed.
This kind of putt, I think that if you hit a good putt, there's a good chance you're going to miss it low with it, unless you just power it. Made some decent putts. 3 of the last 4 holes, he's made 1 putts, Gary.
Well, Johnny, we've seen it so many times when he kind of gets that momentum going his way. He seems to be able to produce the shots he needs to produce. This is certainly one of those.
Got to be outside the hole.
Yes, right in the center of the hole.
Wow. Pretty special guy, huh, Gary?
Remarkable how he can continue to perform under the pressure.
You talk about pressure.
There's some here now. This is an area of Hal's game that has improved dramatically in the last few years, but certainly does not meet the standards of his ball striking. Okay, safely in. They'll go to the par 4 18th. Hal Sutton with a 1-shot lead.
Tiger Woods 4 shots back of Hal Sutton with 6 to play. An eagle at 16. They exchange pars at 17. Tiger now trails by just 1 as they head to the tee at the 18th. The toughest hole on the golf course this week. Only 3 birdies in the last 2 rounds. And if you take a look at how tough they were on the PGA Tour last year, you can see at the 18th, the TPC at Sawgrass, the Players Championship, and the toughest finishing holes, it ranked number 1. Second toughest hole on tour overall. And to give you an idea of just how difficult it can be when you're not in the fairway, the second shot for Tom Lehman. Mark?
He is well off the fairway. Actually right of the cart path. This is a very dangerous shot. Catches a couple of trees but comes down in the fairway about 50 yards short.
Good break.
That is a good break.
Well, an interesting strategy for Tiger here. You might think he needs to hit driver and show something, but I don't think he should. It's the fairway. It's sort of a tough fairway to hit.
Well, up ahead, Jeff Sluman.
Tiger and Hal Sutton would have loved to have bought his tee shot here. He had 195 from the right-hand side.
And Sluman comes up short. It'll roll back further from the hole. Hal Sutton has played this 18th par, bogey par. Did hit his tee shot in the water on Friday. Was able to salvage a good bogey 5 out of it. Tiger Woods has played it 3 4s in a row in his first 3 rounds.
Could be going with an iron draw. I think it's a good play because the fairway cuts in at about the 230, 240 mark, and if you hit it down the right side with the 3-wood and the wind's a little helping right now, it'll run into that rough, and Tiger's been there, and it's not a good place.
And he knows if he gets it in the fairway, Johnny puts the pressure on Hal.
I think he's going to play that shot there. Nice draw. Might go with the punch also.
Shot.
He has done that. That's that low one, John. Right down the center.
A nice hook bounce and hits a downslope and textbook. Now the pressure's on Hal Sutton.
Hal's got the driver, John.
Well, nobody hits it any better than Hal.
I'd been hitting the ball well all week, and there was no reason to doubt myself at that point. Once doubt creeps in for the first time, it overtakes you fast. Everything that I had done prior to that said that I could hit that ball on that line and not worry about it. And so that's what I did.
32-yard fairway. Boy, that's sweet looking. Will that go through the fairway? Will it go through the fairway? Nope. Perfect. What a shot. Two great shots.
There they sit out on the fairway at 18. Tiger Woods maybe needs a birdie here to tie Hal Sutton. Back in a moment.
Brewdogs. New episodes Wednesdays at 10 on Esquire Network.
You want to see determination after Hal Sutton's tee shot at the par 4 18th.
Just like that.
Stares it down, yanks the tee out of the ground, and on he marches. And last night, Hal Sutton told us what it would mean to win this prestigious championship again.
It'd be very special. I think I can't even begin to tell you where it would, what it would feel like to do it. There's been a lot of water pass under the bridge in those 17 years, and a lot of ugliness as far as my golf game is concerned. And about 4 years ago, I started picking myself up by the bootstraps and putting it back together, and it would be kind of icing on the cake to be able to pull that off tomorrow.
He admitted back then he took his game for granted, didn't appreciate his skills. He says he has a message to young people. He says, I'm a good example for kids. They had better pay attention.
Good call. He's been very honest about his feelings, even his feelings about whether he should be able to beat Tiger. And he's been very straightforward that he thinks he has the game to beat Tiger, and he's not going to back down. He's just trying to beat the golf course. And Roger, you'd have to say nobody has beat the golf course any better than him, tee to green anyway, even though today he's just 2 under par in putts. And he's 1 under for the day with just 2 under par in putts. That's some great ball striking.
Well, it certainly is, John, and I think this golf course is a great neutralizer of some of Tiger's great talents. But Hal's played very, very well all week.
Up ahead, Tom Lehman for his par to remain in a tie for third. Never got it there.
He says unbelievable. Leave it short on the last hole.
So he will fall out of that log jam. A 6-way tie for third. Now 5 players there, and Lehman drops to 8th.
Boy, that's an expensive bogey, I can tell you that.
Sutton continues to wait. Tiger waits as Sluman finishes just ahead with a par putt.
Yeah, this is not an easy putt to read. That's why he's looking over it so hard. You don't usually things break towards the water and to the west. Not in this case. I think this putt is a left center putt. If you hit it straight in, it might lip out on the right side. So you got to keep it inside the hole left. And I don't know if he sees that break.
Good par rolled in by Sluman. Finishes even par for the championship. And now the stage is clear. When Hal Sutton and Tiger Woods teed off in this final round 20.5 hours ago, Sutton led Tiger by 1. That's exactly where they stand right now.
Roger?
Tiger has 192 to the hole, John. Wind from the left, maybe helping slightly. He's gripping down on his 6-iron a little bit in his practice swings. It seems like a long way to hit a choke 6-iron. But I think if he hits it solid, it's certainly enough club.
Well, it depends what flight he hits. If you played it out there 15 feet right of the hole and get it back in a stance and de-loft it with a little draw, that's probably the perfect shot. I'm not so sure he wants to play that, though, but he's willing to try shots. If that's what his insides tell him, he probably will.
shot right of the hole and really not moving left much.
Wow, down in the hollow there, and definitely gives a little sigh of relief for Hal Sutton. I think he probably figured he's going to knock it stiff knowing Tiger, but now he's, not that he can't make that. That's a makeable shot from there.
But you have to think a par 4 would win this championship for Sutton.
I was on a perfect angle, very little breeze, not much at all. And I mean, everything was set up to be what I needed it to be. 6 iron happened to be the favorite club in my bag.
Well, he's got it going right at the flagstick. It'll be up.
It is. And a fist pump. And exchanges with his longtime caddy, Freddie Burns. Is Hal Sutton on his way to another Players' Championship win? It looks like it. Sutton and Woods have arrived on the 18th green, but what a second shot delivered by Hal Sutton. Here was his reaction just a short time ago.
Be the right club. Be the right club today. Yes!
It had been 5 long days of fighting everybody's belief. I mean, every time I went in the media room, they told me every reason I was supposed to lose. You know, well, you're crazy. You know, that's what I walked out of there with. The feeling is they think I'm crazy.
Be the right club. Be the right club today. Yes!
That was why that moment came out of Be the Right Club today. I'm sick of everybody else's thoughts and feelings, and we're going to put it all to rest right here with this shot.
Determined Hal Sutton, and then in this game of sportsmanship, Tiger Woods says, yeah, nice shot, Hal, as Sutton looks to be in the winner's circle again as a makeable birdie putt. But just when you think Tiger Woods, all the magic is out of his bag, you don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So those have hopes for a 3.
Well, I've been down in that little hollow. I've watched people play out of that hollow, Roger, and it's about as straight as you can get. It's just there's a lot of different kinds of shots you can play here. You could hit it with the 3-wood run. You could hit a wedge. You could putt it out of there. I would imagine that 3-wood might be a possibility, but he's going to fly it on. I guess he wants to take the, probably for score, you'd want to hit the probably 3-wood for Tiger, but if you're going to try to knock it in, this is the play. Very little break at the hole. He hits it true, it's going down.
That'll be a 4 for Tiger Woods. But 41-year-old Hal Sutton is about to become the oldest champion in the history of this event. But what another vintage Tiger comeback on the back 9 here at the TPC at Sawgrass.
Yeah, impressive eagle on 16, but shot at 17 by Tiger, a little bit of a letdown, and then also the approach at 18. But Hal Sutton with that great second.
Just
got a 2-putt, but he's got
win it.
Uphill. No, it's not really uphill. It's pretty level and dead straight. It's kind of putt, probably knock it in or leave it a little short.
Just the formality. 17 years later, Hal Sutton is the Players' Champion again. His wife, Ashley, their daughters. And you could hear Sutton say that's what it's all about. 10 under par the score. And he's with Roger Maltby. Roger.
Thank you, Dan. Hal, You've won this championship before. You've won major championships before. Where does this one rank up there for you?
Roger, coming down the stretch with Tiger today, I knew he was going to play great, which he did. When he made the eagle putt on 16, I'd already put it in my head that he was probably going to, and don't be surprised by that. And this is what golf's all about. This is why I started playing when I was 10 years old and stuck it out through thick and thin. And I don't know what to say other than that.
I couldn't help but notice as he hit the chip shot here at the last, you never looked. You were looking at your ball, trying to read your putt.
Well, again, I was trying to plan on him making it. If he made it, well, then I knew I had to make that putt. And I had to stay focused on what I was doing, and that's probably the thing that I did the best today, was to stay focused on what I had to do, not what Tiger was doing.
Congratulations on your great play.
Thanks, Rob.
What a win.
You would have thought Hal Sutton's victory at the 2000 Players Championship would have encouraged other competitors to challenge Tiger's increasing dominance. But Woods' intimidation factor continued to grow as 2000 progressed. Even though he didn't win the Masters, Tiger would begin a run that many people believe will go down as one of the greatest stretches of golf ever played. Tiger collected 9 wins in 2000, including a 15-stroke victory at the U.S. Open, an 8-shot win at the Open Championship at St. Andrews, and a thrilling playoff victory over Bob May at the PGA Championship at Valhalla. He would go on to win the Masters in 2001 to hold all 4 majors at the same time. Hal Sutton would go on to win 2 starts later in Greensboro and finished 4th on the PGA Tour money list in 2000. His gritty performance in outdueling Tiger and claiming the 2000 Players Championship trophy 17 years after winning his first was the crowning achievement in his comeback at the age of 41. I'm Bill McAtee. Thanks for watching Golf's Greatest Rounds.